Let's talk about tactical voting and the Welsh election. So I've had so many people ask me about this, basically saying different versions of, how do I stop party X in my area? Or this political party says they're the only one who can stop this party. How do I vote? It's not the job of a journalist to tell you how to think, but there's so much misinformation out there, I thought I'd give you a little explainer. So let's get into it. So the first thing to say is, if you really believe in a party, they speak to your values, you should go out and vote for them, okay? Simple as that. Now, some of you will be saying, well, I don't really care who wins, I just don't want party X to win or party Y to win. Now, if that is where you stand, there are things that you can do. To understand it, you need to understand the electoral system. Now, I'm not going to go into all of that here because it's going to take more than a 3-minute video, but I've done a really deep dive explainer on how this works in my newsletter, which you can see in the links. It's called the Will Hayward newsletter. But in simple terms, this system massively rewards the bigger party. So for example, if Labour got 40% of the vote and Plaid Cymru and Reform got 20% each, even though Plaid and Reform have both together got 40%, the same as Labour, Labour would get more seats. This system deliberately rewards the parties that get big amounts of votes. So, what does that mean in terms of how you should vote? If you want to stop a particular party, your best bet is actually just to vote for the biggest party which is opposed to them. So, for example, if you were a Conservative voter and you hated Plaid, you hated their stance on independence and you wanted to stop them, you'd probably be better off, mathematically, going for Reform, because Reform are likely to be bigger than the Conservatives. However, there is an issue with that. You don't know how this is going to play out in your particular area. So another example, imagine you're a Green voter and you really want to stop Reform, but to do that you think, well, Plaid are going to be probably bigger, so I will vote for Plaid. That mathematically would make sense. But the problem is, in your particular area, you not voting for the Greens might mean the Greens miss out on their 6th seat, which means Reform could take it. So it is really, really hard to predict. And any political parties that sit there saying, oh, it's a battle between us and that party for the 6th seat, they are lying. They do not have that data. No one has that data. No one has that certainty. What you've got to bear in mind is, because of how the system works, is if you change your vote to try and win in that battle for 6th, you could change all the other seats above it. Again, it's complicated. I've put the full polling and all the details in the newsletter, so check it out there. So to sum up, if you want to vote for a party, vote for that party. If your main aim is to stop another party, mathematically, your best bet is to try and vote for the next biggest party, which is opposed to them. Don't listen to people when they say the battle for the 6th seat is X, Y, and Z. They literally can't predict it. They don't have the data. And finally, if you really want to stop another party, then probably don't vote for a party that has no chance of winning. But that doesn't mean that there is no value in voting for smaller parties, because it's a democracy and we should ideally be voting for who we want. If you want more detail on the voting system, you want it more specific, you want to see it more laid out, just go to my newsletter. Give it a Google, the Will Hayward newsletter. Thanks.